each of you, as you said, there's so many issues that are going on in Los Angeles, and it's crossing over district lines. It's not about we see ourselves as just Angelinos, and you each have your quote-unquote sections, but you're representing all of Los Angeles. I'd like to ask each of you to share with me what are some of your key focuses. I know as Mr. Price, it's Councilman Price's economic development, and there's I think over $3 billion since 2013 in your district. You're very big on cannabis and regulations and making sure there's equity and opportunities for African Americans, making sure on the front lines of reaping the benefits. And obviously there's a lot being done on law and constituents coming out. You're really big on homelessness and in the community of Leimert Park and making sure that area is vibrant and resurgence. But I want each of you to tell me, because there's various issues of what you're focusing on and what is going on.
Hey, I couldn't hold back my smile. You're big on cannabis.
I'm sorry.
Why are you looking at me?
I'm sorry. No, that's the best thing is you're taking a charge. I'm proud.
Take
a charge. Take a charge. I'm sorry.
I'm teasing you.
That word was taboo until January 1st.
No, it's not. The word is not taboo. Regardless of how you feel about cannabis, you support it or you don't support it. Our bosses, the voters of this state, instructed us to regulate this new industry. And one of the priorities for us, other than making sure that this was safe and that we can control it, is based on this failed war on drugs, which was basically a war on blacks and Latinos. We felt that it was important, as this industry emerges, that it be a pathway for blacks and Latinos and women to get into this business if they choose to. And this is a business that is going to be booming, and pretty soon people will not make jokes about it like I just joked with you about it. But we also recognize if we did not get our people in from the very beginning, then it would just be another industry making billions of dollars where we would, as a people, would not reap any benefits. So that's another collaboration for us ensuring that we have a social equity program, which then gives preference to areas of the city that were devastated by this failed war on drugs. And so when we go into the council to battle on something or to debate something like this, other council members know, well, they only need 8 votes. They already got 3. And so that just kind of, reinforces the point that we tried to make earlier.
The issue in terms of economic development is important. We talked about, again, not just citywide, but in our areas especially. So I'm real sensitive to creating jobs, creating opportunities. As I said, we've ushered in almost $3 billion worth of investments since 2013. Excited about the work that's going on in Expo Park, for example, the renovation of the Coliseum, the new village project at SC, the soccer stadium that's going up at the old sports arena site, the Lucas Museum. All these projects, again, with the support of my colleagues, we have strong local high requirements. Not unlike our efforts to make sure that folks are getting involved in the cannabis industry early. We want to make sure that folks are taking part in these jobs that are rebuilding our areas. We see what's happening downtown. We want that same kind of activity to occur in South LA, and it is occurring. It is occurring, and we have to make sure that our local residents are able to participate in that as well. So we're excited about what's happening at Expo Park. Excited about the fact that there are 3 hotels being planned on the Figueroa corridor, from Adams down to King. These are jobs that are going to provide business opportunities as well, and we want to make sure that we are taking advantage of all these opportunities in ways that we've just not done before.
Would you like to speak?
I think on all these issues, I think it's cannabis, I think it's economic development, I think it's true for homelessness, and I also think it's true for city jobs and jobs in the public sector more broadly. But on all those issues, one of the most important things about our relationship is making sure these things are done in a way where Black folks can have full participation, right? So
that's what-
whether it's the hotels, making sure that we're not just, patrons at the bar, that we can help build it, we can work there, we can stay there. And the same thing with the soccer stadium, the same thing with cannabis, the same thing with homelessness. I mean, about 49% of the homeless population is African American. We're building a lot of homeless housing. We got to pay attention to who gets in the housing, right?
That's right.
Who gets to build it? Who gets to provide services? And the same is true with city jobs. And what's nice about having the three of us, it's not on one of us to carry all that weight, right? And so one of us can, be the tailback on the issue, and the other person can block. And on the next issue, we can switch positions. But I think in all of these things, as the city is growing so rapidly and the economy is booming, we got to make sure that Black people are dealt in on the first deal, and that we're in the first cut of all the business. And working together gives us a good handle on how to make sure that happens.